Bonjour tout le monde at Ringside Crew. My name is Ashley D'Amboise.
This is Tina San Antonio, your NYWC Scarlet Champion.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
And you're listening to Dudes at Ringside Podcast with Joe Panther and the Metal Geek.
You're watching and listening to the Dudes at Ringside Podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode 150 of the internationally known
150.
What's that, Geek?
All right, whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
Internationally known Dudes at Ringside Podcast. I am your host, Joe Panthers III, and now introducing with the top of Metal Mountain all the way down to all 50 states and the globe, it's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? What's going on?
Did I say the episode wrong? What number episode is it, Geek?
Just go with it.
Okay. Okay. Are you ready for history, Geek?
Yes, we're ready.
Are you ready for chaos, Geek?
I'm ready for chaos. You ready for chaos? Wait, Okada's here?
No. Because let's give a woo. Dudes at Ringside, welcome to the mother of chaos. She's here. Welcome.
Casey,
the mother of chaos.
Hey.
What's up?
All good.
Yes. Welcome.
Sorry, that's why I keep forgetting how cameras work.
Christmas stream. Yay. So,
well, to be fair, it's been up since Halloween, so.
It's okay. It's okay to have your Christmas tree up on a Halloween
tree to Christmas tree, so I'm not going to take it down for November.
Yeah, it's cool because it lights up purple, so it kind of goes with the Halloween theme.
Yeah.
So I see the orange too. So,
yeah.
Welcome to Dudes at Ringside Podcast, and also welcome to you're the first Irish wrestler to ever come on Dudes at Ringside. You just made history. So
You made history.
Light up the flag. Light up the Irish flag. We've been told.
Raise it, Joe. Raise the flag. There we go.
I would say light the flag up, and then my dumb luck.
Yo, Justin, what's going on, dude? What's going on?
It's our buddy Justin. He's a cool guy. That's another cool guy, Justin.
He's a podcaster too. So
yeah.
Okay.
We'll probably get a message from him soon. He's cool. He's like us. He's funny and he's cool. So so who trained you?
So I started training like in 2009, and it was actually Bonesaw, who is one half of Kings of the North. I call him Machine because that's how I know him, as Machine. And I started 2009 with him, and within like 6 months with him, I debuted for a company called Wrestling.ie and tagged with him versus Jordan Devlin and a girl called Rachel Sinclair. And it went from there.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well, I did some backyarding before that, but we don't talk about that.
Oh.
Started 2009.
Yeah, it's like I think we all had that. I'll start with this, and then you think, yeah.
I mean, he gave me my start. That's how I met. I heard about Machine and him opening training school, so I was like, let's go get trained by proper people.
Yeah.
I've been throwing myself around a gym hall trying to do stuff like the Hardy Boys.
Yeah. With me was Rey Mysterio, because I'm like an absolutely super fan of Rey. So
well, it was Hardy Boys, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, like people like that for me.
Yeah.
Kind of a whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Who would you say your dream opponent is?
My dream opponent, male or female, or just anybody?
Anybody.
Eddie Guerrero. But he's not here anymore.
Oh.
But if I could go back in time.
I cried when this is showing my age. When he died, that internet was just coming in.
Yeah.
My friend, I saw it and I called him immediately, and I'm like, dude, Eddie Guerrero died. And he was like, Randy, stop bullshitting me. And then I could hear the fingers going on the keyboard on the computer, and he yelled, "Oh, what the fuck!" And his mom, Jimmy, everybody in the house was going, "Oh my god!"
Was that when WrestleZone was around? I believe.
Yes.
Right. So it was like, click here to find this out. Click here. I'm like,
or no DQ. Yeah.
No DQ.
Oh God, we have the running joke here on Dudes at Ringside about no DQ. You mean not no DQ, more like lots of errors, lots of viruses.
Yeah. It was just that way. Like, yeah, whenever it happened, I was like devastated. Like one of my earlier memories of like a live WWE show when they came back to Belfast when the Odyssey Arena just opened. Very first time ever seen a WWE show live, and Eddie Guerrero and Chavo were on, and of course they're being heels, and they came out, and it's like, it's great to be here in Dublin, and you're like, oh, you're in Belfast. And they're like, oh, and Chavo's like, I remember it clear as day, and he said to Eddie, he's like, Eddie, this is where they built the Titanic, man. He's oh, and Eddie's like, cool, nice workmanship, guys. Like, oh, and it just worked us so well. It was like, I love you, but I hate you at the same time.
They're doing their job. So I explained to Joe about the Even Stevens earlier.
I remember when I went to I was at WrestleMania 20 when Benoit won the title, and I teared up. Yeah, I was there. Like when Eddie and Benoit hugged in the ring when the streamers were going. Oh, I lost my mind. I started crying because think about it. If people don't see it the way I see it, two WCW guys are standing in the middle of the ring hugging at the end of WrestleMania. WWE didn't think about that before it happened.
At the top of everything, like
they're finally both on top, and that's when Eddie was champion. The WrestleMania 20 ends with the WCW last minute finger to WWE. Yeah. Both big men on the roster hugging at the end of WrestleMania with the belts.
It's just
Vince did not see that. I did. I started crying. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, those things that whenever I rewatch it, it's still goosebumps. Like, just amazing. Just amazing.
I sometimes, as geek, I joke with geek. Sometimes at night, instead of hearing the sounds of, because I live in the woods, sometimes I hear crickets. No, sometimes I get chills and I hear the sound of the crowd chanting, tap, tap.
Yeah.
The sound of Madison Square Garden, hearing the crowd chant tap. Oh, you can't take it away from people.
It's like whenever I was at WrestleMania 33, and when the Hardy Boys came out.
Oh, you were there?
I was there.
My shit, man. Like Molly will tell you. Like, there's a photo of me in full, like, I'm gone, like tears, because I thought I'd never ever get this chance to see them live. Like, I've seen Matt had come over and wrestled for a few companies over here, but I've never ever seen Jeff. Like, I've met Lita, I've met Matt. Jeff is the one I've never met, and I'm like, I need to meet Jeff, and this is the closest I'll probably get to ever meeting him. And you know when he was coming down the ramp and he turned and looked at the crowd. Yeah, that was at my bit, and I was like, Jeff, losing it. Like, it was just just anytime I see it, I well up. It's just that's there. They're here.
Every time I see that video, I always have to go back and start it from the beginning to hear the crowd. As soon as that music, and the crowd's like,
thing, like Haley, Reddy, and Stevie, they were up in up in the nosebleeds. Yeah, and literally said it just looked like the entire stadium started jumping. The thing came to life like some kind of monster. Like, it was just unreal.
Great moment, by the way, but it's a horrible stadium.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one that agreed that was the worst stadium I've ever been to in my entire life.
Like, the setup, great, but see, like, during the whole day when we got there and we realized how big that ramp was, and the fact that I could see probably a quarter of the ring because this big freaking ramp was down the way, and I was like, guys, and like, people were like, we were lucky we could even see that. The people behind us couldn't see anything. So I felt sorry for the people who are like the security and anybody who was managing it, because they had to deal with so many people going, we want to change seats, let's change seats, because we bought these to get right beside the ramp and we can't see anybody because they're like 20 feet up there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was unreal, but like, just for that moment alone, and then Taker doing the semi-retirement, leaving. Yeah. I remember my friend Scott, and he was just tears starting to stream, and I was like, "Oh no, if he goes, I go."
Yeah, that was like 100 degrees that day, like 120 degrees or something like that. Extremely hot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when it started raining, I was like, "Thank God." But then it disappeared. I was like, "Oh no."
Any kind of makeup on anybody that's wearing dressing up like any kind of character, their makeup is running like a Comic-Con.
He's gone. I mean, I was at Access just before it, and I think it's because with like I'm a very, very pale Irish person. I was wearing all black. I had long black hair, and I was running up to see if I could see one of the shows for NXT UK, but I missed it. It was over. But as I was running up, all I heard was from people I was running by going, "Is that Paige?" I was like, "It is not. It's not Paige." But thank you. It's not Paige. It's like, why would people be running through Access through the public?
Well, if you have your partner with you, she could have been like, "Nope, Paige is not ready. Paige doesn't want to talk to anybody."
I was running as fast as I could because BT Gunn and Stevie Boy, they were given a chance to have a match, but we had literally arrived at like 10 a.m. and they had their stuff with them. And then we were told by our promoter, Mark Dallas, for ICW, is like, "They're giving you a shot, like, go get your stuff." And they're like, "You tell us this now when we're here, and the villa's like 45 minutes back that way."
God.
I was like, I must have been breaking some speed limits. I must have been breaking some laws in every country, getting them back and two. And by the time we got there, it was done. I was like, I was like, damn it. But then I got to see my good friend Scotty again, who was backstage. He was for it. Scott Garwood, Scotty Tihati. I got to see him again and have a good chat and catch up. So, it wasn't bad.
Cool.
So yeah.
Is there any place in like in America, like other countries, you would want to travel or wrestle to?
I would love to go back to Japan. I would love to do Mexico, but I'm kind of scared.
Yeah.
But I really want, like, I've done, like, when I was out in Florida in 2017 for WrestleMania, I did a few like matches and things like that for NEFW, but I didn't get like on shows. I wasn't on Shimmer. I wasn't on nothing like that. I should have went to Shimmer when Keely was there, but I was too busy being at WCPW for BT Gun to go, "Hey, go BT!" But there wasn't really anything at Shimmer. But I should have shown face. Bad Kelly.
Yeah.
But I would love to anywhere. Like I just love traveling. I love meeting new people. I love putting on a show. Like, be you love me or hate me, like, you gotta get used to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost forgot that WCPW did an American show.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was like, wait, what?
Like, what's that? Yeah. It was during the WrestleMania week. Actually, it was on the Saturday because it was NXT that night, and that was when Drew came back.
Yeah.
So we had seen him at WCPW, and we were having a big chat. He didn't say a word. And then he was at NXT, and they did the "Look Who's Back."
Look who's back, yeah, right in the crowd.
Little so and so, you never even hinted at us.
Never told us, right?
Yes. We've had some surprises here on Dudes at Ringside, and we're like, I've been told by people, and I'm like, I don't tell Geek, and then we had news broken on the podcast by a promoter, and I knew it the whole time because the girl told me. And then the dude broke the news on the podcast. You get to see on Instagram the breaking news picture. Geek's face is just like, you do the face. I was just like this. I was doing my typical interviewer thing I always do. I was like, I knew it.
Menacing, everything going on.
I get comfortable when I'm sitting there interviewing people, and I start to like
start sliding.
I start doing like what's his name? When they passed away, that does the thing on CNN. He interviews celebrities. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Larry King. Larry King.
I do like the Larry King. I start sitting there like, so, like. Yeah. I guess I learned that when you do things like with the microphone, you got to look professional. So sometimes I sit in my chair and just sit there and, or sometimes I'll just My mom doesn't like me sitting so far away from the microphone because she says I look like a peanut head. But that's a different story for a different day. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Peanut Panther? No, that sounds stupid. Name change. Peanut Panther. Yeah. Yeah. So the promotions in Florida you should definitely check out is CCW. It's is what's is that? Am I right? Did I say the name right, Geek?
CC Coastal Championship Wrestling, ARW Atomic Wrestling Revolutionary, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
And
then there's another one that's behind Geek. It's Magic City. It's in Miami.
I want to go to Miami.
Remember that one, Magic City Wrestling.
I will, because it's in Miami.
Yeah, he's a good guy. His name it's Frank.
Vinny.
Vinny.
Oh, get pulled off now.
His name is Vinny.
Joe always screws up in the names. I don't understand.
I'm like the drunk Howard Finkel. I say the first name right.
I am awful for names. I'll go that person that looks like this. They've done that. They work with this person.
He gets so mad. He starts to yell.
I get mad because I'm like, dude, come on. What the hell?
Brought them on here, God. Yeah. I'm so glad that like this one thing is me and Geek have known each other since college, and like we did college radio together and stuff like that. And people in college used to always tell us, "Oh, you guys talk about wrestling too much, and you're just gonna be fans forever." And now look at us. We're talking to people from all over the world.
Yeah.
We're right now live with a person from Ireland. You know,
that's awesome.
For us, that's so cool. And it's like after what happened yesterday with Ring of Honor, I kind of like
the last
had
show.
a moment to think back, and I had tears in my eyes. I'm thinking if it wasn't for Metal Geek, I would never know about indie wrestling, and I would never be right here meeting you on the internet. You know, so
things are meant to happen. Everything's meant to happen.
I think Ring of Honor actually, if I want to talk about this a little bit, Ring of Honor set the stage for indie wrestling. I'm going to say that, Joe.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
They really showcased what people really wanted to see. It wasn't the cookie cutter project that WWE was back in the day, and then it wasn't like the Attitude Era. It was just pure wrestling and letting people tell the story rather than having the really outlandish like storylines. Mae Young and things like that. So they were just
it's Ring of Honor. When they started, it was like, remember, I mean, I'm not talking about Ring of Honor today. I'm talking like, back in 04, 02. Yeah. It's like when Ring of Honor started, I mean, they had their little gimmicks. You had the Christopher Street connection. You had some of those gimmicks. But other than that, it's like there were no characters in Ring of Honor. I'm just here to wrestle. That's it. That's it. So
like Daniel Bryan, or what he said now, he's called in AEW is his original name from
Bryan Danielson, right?
Bryan Danielson. He's going back to the Dragon, and you know what? Not for nothing. I think that's so smart. He did that because that's paying tribute to his ROH career by going back to his original name. I find that really not a big fan of AEW,
or because WWE owns the name Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Kind of,
but I like Bryan Danielson better because that's the name. I said this is the best wrestler in the world, Bryan Danielson. You know, so
that's what you associate with him and like his career, really. Yeah, Daniel Bryan, you like that's your yes movement and all the rest of it, but out of pure wrestling skill and what you can actually show, that is what you want.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson is like Mr. Wrestling right there, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Is there any wrestlers that you could find on YouTube that you've been like watching, like any of the bigger indie wrestlers that you see about YouTube and you're like, or Instagram that you watch their videos and you're like, I want to wrestle.
I watch so much stuff that like I'll get sent stuff by my other friends like Emerson Jane, Molly Spartan. Like I'll watch stuff with BT Gunn, but the thing is we've been watching a lot of like old school like 80s, 90s stuff recently because everybody forgets about that, and it's like there's so many like golden moments or like really really cool like move sets and sort of things that have kind of died out because everything's so indie now.
Yeah.
But then the psychology and like I love watching all the old school stuff. But I'll see little snippets of things on Instagram and stuff or on Twitter, and I'll be like, oh, that was quite nice. Here's this.
we always like to post like stuff from wrestlers. So if you have any clips from your matches, like a 30-second clip, you could send it to us. Like how you send your pictures. You could send a clip like that, and we'll post it on our Instagram fans. So our fans from like our American fans can see it. We'll tag you in the clip and be like, go check out this girl's Instagram, check out her more of her stuff. And then that's how you get more fans from us.
A lot of my stuff, because I've got my Patreon, so a lot of my stuff on YouTube has been hidden because it's just Patreon accessible. But I'll put up like GIFs and things like that anyway. So if anybody wants to see like full matches or get in contact, like do stuff like this, whatever, they can go through there. But I'll definitely will. I've got there's a highlight video of a match that Emerson, Jane, and I had just before like the first lockdown, where I won the international championship in Eve. And there's like a highlight video that the promotion in Israel, IPWA, they shared on their Instagram. It's linked on that. So I'll link you to that later. Or if anybody who's watching wants to go have a look at that and send a link in, do that.
Israel too. Wow, you wrestle all over the place. You've been.
I was meant to be wrestling in Israel, but because of all the new variant and new restrictions that have come in, they've had to reschedule. So I'm still looking forward to it. It's just going to be a little bit later.
You should try to come to New York. There's like that promotion we were just watching before we went live. Cap, they're a good one that you should definitely put on your list of wrestling groups that we'll be telling you about, as always.
Like literally anybody, if there's promoters watching in America, please, I'm free. Like I'm coming over. Because it's the bucket list thing, because I've done Japan and then like all over Europe and stuff like that. I want to get to this side of the world now. So let me in. Do you have any pets? I'm sorry, I'm just gonna do, if I can lift her up. You can't see her. That's Lexi. She's gone back to sleep.
She's like, "What'd you do, Mom?"
She's the older one. 2 seconds, I'll get the younger one.
What'd you do, Maud?
We're having a great conversation. Had to bring up the pets.
Oh, people want to see pets.
Yeah,
they're probably on my Instagram. And you use a little one.
Oh no!
I guess pets get views.
Pets get views.
She's been through the mill, so she has. Like she suffers from meningitis, so she's on steroids. She had like a couple of weeks ago, so she's full of stitches right now, and she's only one. So,
really?
Yeah, she's been through the ringer.
Oh God, that sounds like my old dog Honey that died in July. Yeah, she had a brain tumor, and by the time I went to see Geek, we had to put her to sleep because it was like she was getting really bad. So
Maud wants to know what are the names.
Some love. So she does. Yeah. So this one's Nico, short for Nicola because she's a little girl, and then the other one is Lexi, and she's 10. She's an older girl now, but they're always usually on me or near me.
What would you say your favorite match of all time is? You'd say.
Oh, favorite match of all time. Oh, you had to throw me that curveball. There's too many.
He's the king of that.
Oh, you asked the tough questions.
But they're fun questions.
Oh. Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a match that I go back to quite a lot. See, for the psychology of it. I mean, the stuff that they do in it is great, but I love the matches that make sense and have you on the edge of your seat, and they're not just like, this is step 1, this is step 2. Like they go, this is step 1 to step 6, and then they're back to 2, and then like, I love it. Either that over, I'm going to say another Eddie one, Eddie and Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends? Because you must have. Did you ever listen to any of our past episodes or watch any of them?
I'm so sorry.
Everybody says that in match. Yeah.
That is my all-time favorite match. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc. When Ray's wearing that purple and onesie.
Is it Phantasm or Phantom?
I was surprised nobody said Okada Omega 4 because that's my favorite match of all time.
I mean, they're great, but I'm just a big mark for Eddie.
Yeah.
But like all different like styles of matches, like Hardy Boys and Edge of Christian, like any of their matches, because it was just gold. Like any of the TLC matches with the Dudley Boys, like because I'm getting very much into my death matches recently, so I'm watching a lot more death matches and doing a lot of stupid stuff.
There's a lot of death match promotions in America too, like in our Texas area and stuff like that. We've interviewed quite a few death match wrestlers. We got
like tube staples, staple guns.
So you would do a death match.
Chairs, tables.
That's what I was going to ask her, if she would consider doing a death match.
Oh, I competed in the TNT Total Carnage death match tournament, the very first all women's tournament.
Oh wow!
And it came down to me and Session Mock Martina.
Oh wow!
And I pretty much died.
Wow!
I took I was on the top rope and set her on the table on the outside, and she came up, cut me off, boom, 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 put me on her shoulders, and just threw me. But I missed the table, and I hit concrete. So yeah, that's a death match.
Yeah.
Oh god!
But yes. I had done the first round was me and Alexis Falcon in a thumbtack match. And the next one was me and Emerson Jane in a light tubes and tables match, and then the finale was me and Martina in everything. So literally ladders, chairs, tables, light tubes, thumbtacks, everything.
There was one, I don't know what Instagram page it was. This guy had light tubes almost like a mohawk. It was like they're all lined up like this, and he just slammed it into the guy, and it just.
Yeah, I've seen that happen with Charlie Evans recently. She took that, the big fan of lights, like just straight down on her head. I was like, oh, yeah. I want to do that.
There's one girl that we've been trying to get, and then she says, "Oh,
is there any spots? Is there any spots you won't take, or?"
Usually, it's me saying them. I'm not the stupid ideas.
Okay.
Thing is, like ICW had their big main show, Fear and Loathing, a couple of weeks back, and the main event of the second show was BT Gunn and Stevie Boy in the King of Insanity match. And so they were planning everything, and they needed X, Y, and Z. So I went to the store to go get them Lego and skewers and like all that sort of stuff. And then I came back, and they were talking about stuff, and I was like, "Do you want me to like glue any of these Legos to like your kick pads or anything?" And they just went, "Casey, that's enough of that. Like, you don't want to die." And I was like, I blame you guys. Like, I learned all this from you. So
there was a girl on our podcast that actually she competed in a wood match. It's like you can't use anything but wood.
Yeah.
In the match, so
take the mats off, take the ring.
No. It was like only wooden objects were allowed in the match. So, what do you think? Would you think a kendo stick, a wooden table, and you're not going to believe this. There was a wooden school bus in the match that somebody made.
That's amazing. Next.
And there was a
match. We'll find it on YouTube. We'll send it to you.
Please do.
And there was a box. There was a box that in the match, like a wooden crate.
Yeah.
And there were little spikes coming out of the crate, and she got suplexed on the wooden crate with the spikes.
Fun.
So now you're thinking. Now you're like, okay, that's a great idea. I'm gonna start stealing some of these
I've got
ideas.
so many ideas for death matches. Like me and like Emerson Jane, like we're constantly going, "Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this?" And speaking to all our different promoters and like, "Can we do a death match? Please, we've got ideas." Lexi.
Lexi's agreeing. She's like, "Yes, mom. Yes, mom."
I'm sorry.
Hello.
You want to say hello?
Hello. You're live.
It's because she hears people in, like, because I'm in an apartment building, and we would call it a close. So the close is where, like, the communal stair area.
Yeah.
So she's hearing somebody come home. So she hears them in the close.
Or she
She's
hears
like,
us.
"Oh, there's somebody here." It's okay. You're fine. Go back to sleep. No, I'm usually the one with the stupid ideas, and then you get me and Emerson Jane messaging each other, sending each other clips off Twitter, off Instagram, like, how about we do this next? How about we do this next? We push each other like to beyond limits. It's ridiculous.
You should definitely check out a female wrestler from America. Her name is Kennedy Copeland.
Yes.
Yes. We had her on here, but we haven't heard from her in a long time. Something, I don't know.
What's going on? Like, no, it's just like we've got, like, I know Max the Impaler is about, and I think I really hope, like, one day that she can make it to the UK, because they.
Max the Impaler. It sounds familiar.
She was in Ring of Honor.
She was in Ring of Honor. She had a match with one of the guys there, but I keep saying stop it. They come out like they're like a character from, oh my god,
Mad Max.
Max, yes. So they've got like the mask, the makeup, the mohawk.
Yeah, Max the Impaler, the big,
like Iceland sort of look.
Yeah.
She's actually they is in a stable. There's another one called I think Heidi Hauser, I think her name is.
Heidi Hauser, yeah. And then the other one that I really want to wrestle, her name is Bloodsport, is her Twitter handle. Is it Lindsay Snow? Lindsay Snow.
She looks really cute in her picture, but then she really does death matches. I can't think of her name. She uses Mariah Carey's Fantasy as her theme song.
Who is that? That's going to annoy me. Anybody's got the answer in the comments, please.
You know who I'm talking about? Her theme song is that song by Mariah Carey. I'm not singing the song.
There's a wrestler actually in America. He'll connect all the deathmatch wrestlers together and have, like,
There's a friend of ours that's like big into deathmatch. I wish he was here today in the chat. He knows all deathmatch wrestling, and he'll go, what's your name? And she looks like a cutesy wrestler, but every time I go to her Instagram page, it's a picture of her standing there like this. And there's like blood trickling down her face. And I'm like, I watch one of her clips, like, the girl actually has a Mariah Carey song as her freaking theme song. That's so weird. I'm like,
it's not weird. That's great. It gets you pumped up. Everybody has to be sing song.
But it makes me laugh. I'm like, oh my god. Like, Mariah Carey.
It's the juxtaposition of it. It's like, oh, cutesy. Oh, okay, she can kill me.
Yeah, she'll rip my face off and wear it as a mask.
Yeah. I'm a bit nuts.
These wrestlers are driving us nuts.
Well, in general, if you think about it, like, we voluntarily throw our bodies around a place, like, around for people's entertainment. So there's something wrong with that. You're always taught when you're growing up, try not to fall. Don't fall. Don't hurt yourself.
As I always tell every guest, I'm like, we just love this stuff, and we watch what you guys do, and it makes us happy, but then makes you go home and sit in the bathtub full of ice.
Well, see, after the deathmatch tournament, it was literally, we went back to the hotel. Molly went to go get pizza and get some food, because she's like, you've been literally through hell. Let's just, like, veg out and get all the bad stuff. And so she went and got food, and I was trying to get cleaned up, and I couldn't sit down. I literally couldn't sit down. I was in that much pain, but I was sitting going, it was so good though, and everybody loved it, and I've done it, and I'm never doing it again. And then 3 weeks later, I did it again.
Oh, geez. Well, it's like, you did
100 pounds, because he says 100 pound, you'll do it again. It's like, no, never doing it again, never doing it again. And then me and Emerson Jane did it again at Wrestle Kingdom. And he was like, you owe me 100 pounds.
Yeah, so can you
rush? Oh, go ahead.
No, you can continue. I cut you off. I'm sorry. It's the way.
I was just saying, it was like you get a rush from it, and it's like wrestling gets you so far, and then you start doing the silly stuff. And you're like, how far can I push it now? How far can I push it now? See where I can go. And I just like this challenge, like see how far my body can go. And I should know because BT had suffered a pretty bad injury before, and he was sick for a few months. So I was like, I've seen where it can lead to. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but I get too excited in the moment and go, let's go do this.
Yes, just do it.
Why not?
So, can you explain the adrenaline feeling? What it's actually like?
It's like it's not even just like from doing stuff. See, as soon as my music hits, it's like Kelly is all nervous backstage, pacing, getting herself all nervous and hyped up, and then as soon as the music hits, it's like, woof. Casey's here, she's taken over, and the adrenaline hits. You just get this buzz, this like, it's very like cheesy to say. It's like this electricity that runs through you, and you're like, yeah, it's go time. Let's go. Let's go. And when you get the crowd behind you, and it just like you just feed off it, and you just get more and more hyped up, and just that's why we love like crowd interaction so much. It's like we don't want you to be all up here the entire time because that's hard to keep going.
Yeah.
We have our little lows and things like that just to keep us level. Because I think if we all went in at like 100 miles an hour at all times, we'd all end up with heart attacks.
Yeah.
So we need to bring it down a little bit. But it's just even at that, it takes a few hours afterwards for it to like really like get out of our system because we're just on such a high. Yeah. And we just know like we've done a good job and like we can get home like everybody went home happy. Like if I'm happy if I've got somebody like in my face at the end of a match, like and when the night 2 of Fear and Loathing goes up for ICW on the network, definitely tune in on that because that's the night I wrestled Rio. And first time we ever had a singles match together. We had worked in tag matches in the past against each other, but this is the first time we actually wrestled singles. And I came back.
Isn't Ryu the dragon? Or she like has like I've heard the name Ryu. Isn't she the one with, like the shoulder pads on in the pictures?
No, this is Rio, and she's got like she's one of the girls who's debuted for ICW. She's debuted for Progress recently. She's debuted for Eve recently. She's been going around for a couple of years in like England, and she's really making a name for herself. Like I've been there since like day one with her, but we never actually had a match together. And this first time we actually had a match, and it just went perfect. And then at the end, she left, and then I was making my exit, and then some woman in the crowd started. So I went back down the ramp, both in each other's faces, and then Molly's literally dragging me to the back, like, come on, let's go. No handbags at dawn here. But I love it, like, see, being a heel, like, I can get away with stuff like that. Like, give me somebody to argue with, I'll get in your face.
Yep.
Love that.
That was going to be the question I asked. Do you love being heel or face? But obviously you answered it. Do you love being heel?
I've been face for so long. When I first started out my career, I was heel. But obviously, I was very green. I didn't really understand who Casey was then. Well, Casey Owens, because I was part of the Owens twins. And then I graduated to more face whenever I moved to Scotland and started working a lot more with ICW. And you had Kaylee Ray and Viper and Carmel all up here. And I'm like here trying to make my name, like coming on up. And then 2016, that all turned around. And then from about 2019, before the world went on fire, that's when my heel turn came. And I've just been heel everywhere ever since. And I just love it. I just love doing it. Like I can not get away with a lot more stuff, but I can be a little bit more cheeky.
Yeah.
With fans.
Yeah. Speaking,
have a bit of banter back and forth with them, and that's what I love.
Yeah. Speaking of heels, MJF just I don't know if you watched the AEW on Wednesday, this past Wednesday. Actually, MJF is the biggest heel, the most hated villain. Actually got the biggest pop reaction because he was in his hometown. And I thought that was great.
It's hilarious.
I was there live for that, by the way.
And you're like,
It was like a CM Punk in Chicago reaction. That's how big his reaction was in Long Island. So it was great, You
never know. AEW may come to Ireland, and you never know. Ring, ring, ring. Hello.
I'll be here.
You would freak out if knock on wood, you got that call, girl. You got that call. Make sure you tell us so we know to watch. So you'll freak out. We'll fanboy out. Tell us.
Or
Tell us.
don't tell us. Or don't tell us.
Oh, don't tell us.
Yourselves, like, they're in Ireland. Who do I know in Ireland?
Oh my god! All of a sudden, Geek is gonna tell me, and I'm gonna be like the meme from The Office. Oh my god, it's happening!
What's happening?
I'm always the one that finds out, and then I'm the one that tells Joe, and then Joe's like, "Wait, what happened?"
Because like the girl we had on our podcast, Ringside Rain, she announced at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
The woman that announced the dark match on SummerSlam came on Dudes at Ringside.
Yeah, there you go.
The week before
Maybe this is a good thing,
SummerSlam.
right?
What's that?
Like, she did that. She was on Dudes of Wrestling podcast, a Ringside podcast, and then she was on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Maybe with me being on. Maybe.
You never know.
We've been having a lot of magic. We've been
having a lot of luck with the
either
wrestlers.
people have been winning titles or getting brought to places like promotions, you know.
So maybe.
A little magic in this one. It happens, and we know what gave them their thoughts.
We did that.
Thoughts. We got their thoughts.
Joe called it the Dudes at Ringside magic. There you go.
We see on my wrestling cut when I'm making my entrance. Just your wee logo.
Yeah, I'll have to send you multiple stickers so you can send it to your tag. To give one to your partner. Give them out to the girls. But like,
there we go.
Send the boys. The boys want to send you some presents. Give you
like I told you earlier. I'll just keep them all.
Yeah, the girls would be like, "Where's ours? I was supposed to. I heard the podcast. I heard
that's yours, and that one's yours, and
yeah." All the girls would be like, "We listened to the episode. We heard that guy Joe said you were getting stickers."
Is it? No, he might send you stickers.
Might send stickers. Might.
I'm gonna get the mean message on my account. Joe, you liar. I'm like, I like Irish girls. Don't beat me up.
He said might get a sticker. He did not say you're getting one. He said might.
If they were sent to me and they didn't get to you, that's the postman's fault.
Yeah.
It has happened before though.
Oh my god. I sent one. I forgot.
You don't have to say that. You don't have to say the name.
I'm not gonna say a name. I thought I didn't get to them, and now I have to send another one to them, and I'm like,
or maybe they're collecting them. Like one to put something, one to keep.
Yeah, me. I had this girl got an empty envelope. Broke my freaking heart.
Like, guys, where is it?
Yeah, she's like, all I got was a ripped open envelope. I was like, bruh.
I remember that happened to somebody like Kaylee Ray sent her poster to, and she made sure it was all taped up and it was all ready to go, and then it arrived and there was nothing in it. It's like when I sent it, it was open whenever it arrived, and so it's like, all right, I'm sorry, I'll send you a new one.
Yeah, maybe it's the Twilight Zone. It's like stuff goes through the mail and then it disappears.
It's not.
Disappears. I'm so glad that the T-shirts get to us. I'm so glad that the T-shirts don't go poof gone. Like that we've ever gotten that are all behind you. I'm so glad that the thing's not too puffy that they're like, oh, we have to open it up and see what it is. Oh, a T-shirt, mine.
It's mine now.
Actually,
it's my T-shirt now.
The furthest away we got a T-shirt from a wrestler was from
Australia.
Australia.
I was going to say, I'll try and beat. Oh, I can't beat that. They're on the other side.
Can I show the shirt up? I have the shirt right
Yeah, sure. Savannah Summers.
Oh, Savannah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's cute. I like her.
She's
awesome.
I like that.
Well, she was looking and then you pulled it away, Geek.
No, it's fine.
You saw it? You saw it? Or,
Okay.
It's been afternoon. Like, what's going on? That is nice. That's really nice.
I wore that.
I love like the creativity that like we all have for t-shirts. Like my recent one is a take on I don't want to say his name because he's been in the news for being a bit of a arsehole. Josh Whedon, it's a take on his company logo. I'm such a big Buffy fan, so I've done Mother of Chaos and then the wee demon. Because my very first T-shirt was a take on the Buffy logo, so I was like, bring it full circle. Do the opening credits, do the end credits.
I always love that logo that you have with the she-wolf with the Native American thing. Oh, I love that logo.
And then her and stuff. Yeah. That was I want to say that was Aspen Faith. That was a Bear Hug design. So if anybody needs one, Bear Hug Designs, hit them up.
Bear Hug Designs. I remember
they
that.
do posters. They do T-shirt designs. They do banners for the Facebook pages. So hit them up.
Yeah, I love wolves. So like the panther came from my grandfather because my grandfather wrestled, and this is why I became a wrestling fan, is because learning about my grandfather being a wrestler in the 50s and 60s, that like made me like, you mean I have family in the wrestling world? What? And just hooked me. And then Geek is
Joe, your second generation.
Third.
What's that?
But your dad's not a podcaster.
Yeah, but I'm third because it's my dad. I originally was just going to be Joe the Panther. And then my dad said, you got to be the third because my dad would be the first and I'm the second. So
there you go, the third.
So have you ever created yourself in a 2K game?
Of course, everybody has.
I don't know if you don't.
Yeah, not 2K, but like way back. Like I haven't played any like WWE games or anything like that for a while. Not since like PlayStation 2. Because I'm always working. Like I already have any time of day to actually sit and play. Like I have The Witcher to play that one of my fans sent me from Germany, and like I still haven't played it. And he said last year.
Wow.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, just because, see, I'm always in work, and then I come home and it's like sort the dogs out, go to the gym, go to training, and like now shows are back. All my weekends are full again. So it's like it's trying to get that downtime. So I will eventually get around to it. Sorry, Stefan, I will get around to it. But I've read the books, so it's fine. You sent me a load of books as well, so. So that I will get around to it, I promise. But my sister Leah, she's played all the Witcher games, and says you need to play it. And I was like, okay, I will get around to it.
Where could the people find you?
Oh, everywhere. The thing is, I always get mixed up between my Twitter and my Instagram handles. I believe my Twitter is Casey Owens 5 and my Instagram is Casey Owens 11. I'm also on Patreon. You can subscribe from like $5. For like the lower tiers, upper tiers, upwards of $40. But if you're in the upper tiers, you get access to everything. You can get, if you want to have a phone call with me, or if you want to just have a chat, send me a wee message, we can have a chat and that sort of thing. And then I've got other tiers, which are like trading tiers or matches and things like that. Like I was saying to you guys earlier, I've got a YouTube channel, but it's all private for anybody who's on Patreon, and they get access to all the matches and things like that.
That's cool.
That's really cool that you do that. That you actually do. If you get the full thing, you get a chance to get a nice conversation. You're a cool person. I can imagine that'd be a fun conversation, just talking about just sitting, shooting the shit, and just talking to you like we're doing right now.
Yeah, but the thing, it's that way where like the first tier is like a daily check-in. I have to admit I've been quite lacking at the minute because of work. I work in retail, so like I'm forever. It's getting so busy, but
retail right here.
Yep, retail people.
Fun times, isn't it?
Yeah.
I work for Coca-Cola, so.
Oh, right. I work for a company called Ann Summers, and it's lingerie and sex toys. Hey! It's different from wrestling, but
well, there's people in the wrestling world that do that kind of stuff too.
Well, Leah Owens is also a dominatrix, so you can hit her on her Pixie Quinn dominatrix page.
There's also a female wrestler in America called Daddy. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
No, I haven't, but I'll look her up.
She wrestles with one of the girls from that stable, with the one that has
with Max.
Max.
He wrestles with Max. He wrestles with Max's partner. She's always
Heidi.
Yeah, she always wrestles with Heidi. Heidi and Daddy always fight each other, or always teaming up. They always like either fight each other, like best friends.
It's because I'm so focused on Max at the minute because it was over lockdown and things like that I'd seen a lot of their stuff, and I was like, I literally got on to Dan Reed, who runs Eve, and I was like, Dan, please bring Max. Please want to wrestle Max.
You hear that? You hear that? Internet. Max, if you're listening, please come to Ireland.
And yes, Max, that was me that ordered stickers off you whenever your car got totaled. So hey.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So with the Patreon, like I'll do like check-ins with people and see how everybody's doing, if they're all right, and like just general chit chat stuff. So like
I think that's so cool that you do that. You check in on people and see how they're doing, and
I just like to make sure everybody's okay. Like I said, Kelly is really nice and likes to check in on people. Casey's the a-hole.
They're breaking kayfabe. No, breaking kayfabe.
Breaking
all the time.
The glass is cracking. The glass is cracking on the screen. It's going kayfabe.
The kayfabe's broken on the podcast. Oh no.
What's kayfabe? What's that?
What's that?
Did I break the fourth wall? Am I dead full?
Oh geez. It's funny. I write, and I wrote a Ghostbusters fan fiction, and actually I have a guy that's in my group in the story, and he's like the Bill Murray of the story. He's like the comedy relief, and his Ghostbuster does break the fourth wall all the time in the story. He'll be like, I'll be talking, and he'll go like this. My guy is doing something. He'll turn this way to talk. Like when I'm reading, my guy's looking at you when he reads, and I'm reading, and James will come right in front of me and go, who are you talking to?
So I take it you're a huge Ghostbusters fan then.
Oh my God. I have the tattoo of Slammer on my thigh.
Oh, amazing. Because the reason why I say that is because there's a running joke right now with the promoter of Eve, Dan, because within like the last 2 weeks, he's seen the latest Ghostbusters 8 times.
Oh, I need to see it more. That movie... movie is I'm gonna get choked up. That movie,
I still haven't seen it, so
see it. It's beautiful. I want to say it's beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I can't see it until BT Gun gets back from Orlando.
Yeah. See with him, because it's one of those movies you have to see with a friend.
Yeah, so I need the emotional support right now.
Yes. It's I had Geek on a day off. I said, Geek, go see the movie with the mod and go see Ghostbusters. And he's like, I knew you were gonna make me see fucking Ghostbusters. I'm like, see, because me and Geek started up another podcast called Popcorny Podcast.
Right.
We talk about movies. Our first episode was Ghostbusters, and like, do you so like what movies are you looking forward to that are coming out?
Oh. I've probably seen them all.
Okay.
I Red Notice, which is just brilliant. But what is coming up?
Spider-Man.
Matrix.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Matrix.
Kingsman comes out. Kingsman.
Oh, I love Kingsman. Oh, I have to see the next one.
Yeah. Me and the mod love that movie, The Kingsman. We can't wait. We can't wait for the next one to come out.
What's the? Oh, damn it! We recently watched that one of the Safecracker that was in that zombie movie. The German guy. This is me with names, by the way. I describe things so people can like tell me what it is.
Are you talking about the Batista movie?
They were in Vegas and they had to break in money. And the wee German guy who was the Safecracker. Like there was
awesome.
Movie. That was brilliant.
I don't know his name though, but that movie was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that was so good. Like, so good. But like, Red Notice is basically my favorite. Like, what are your favorite movies?
Oh, Geek, you first.
Fifth Element.
Oh, Multipass.
Multipass, yes. Me and Mod always recite the lines from that movie. Every line. Chris Tucker's the greatest though.
Chris Tucker's the man.
The first one, because I saw that movie probably 13 times in the cinema.
Yeah.
Like I could recite all his lines of Jack Sparrow. And then I would say I'm going back to like Willow, just for the
I know Willow. Yeah.
And then there's so like Seven. Like, what's in the box?
Oh, geez.
That's like I love like any sort of genre of movie, but like top 3 would probably be them.
All I could think is when I was a teen. When I was a teen, we saw Seven, and me and my buddy became like the investigators after we saw that movie. And there was a bag in the woods, and that's around the time Home Alone 2 came out, and they had the talk boys. So my buddy had the tape and the thing. We're walking over the tape. He had the knife. We're cutting it open, and he's like, and it is chicken heads. And we were like, oh, and we ran.
He's like, what is that? Get out of here.
Yeah. We were like, you got the talk boys, like we're doing like the movie. We're like, we're cutting the bag. We're walking over to the bag. We're cutting the bag. Randy, or Jimmy, you cut it. I don't want to cut it. I'll just, you hold the talk boy. I'll just be in the background.
All right. But do you have any upcoming matches or?
Yeah. You'll see on the network in a few weeks' time. Like I said, Fear Loathing, me and Rio, night 2, and then in January, God forbid any lockdowns or anything happens or any more restrictions. We've got Eve coming up. I don't have a match assigned just yet, but I know Dan's going to pull out the bag for me because after all, I'm international champion. I deserve the best. Yeah, so it's pretty much everything's quietening down now for Christmas. It'll be the new year where everything comes up.
Do you got your belt with you, or is your belt they don't let you take it home?
Oh, I do have it. Do you want me to go get it?
Sure.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
I always like seeing the belt. Sorry, Geek. You know me. I'm
because some of the wrestlers they can't bring the belt with them. It's
they're more like.
No, it's our property. Sorry, right?
You know why? Because look, airport on.
Oh wait, because if I go this way, then I hit the camera. Let's go this way.
Here we go, Geek.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she has it in a cool bag.
Oh wow!
A special bag.
Now this has to be one of the biggest championships I've ever seen.
Yeah, because I saw it in the picture. Oh my god,
that's a screenshot right there. We need a screenshot, all right?
Get in the camera. Get in the camera.
All right, chin. There you go.
It is massive. Like literally, like I disappear. Like it's huge. This bloody thing. Like
you could use that. It looks like it looks like the WCW the big shiny belt. You know the WCW title.
Some of the promoters don't. Some of the promoters don't let the wrestlers take their belt home with them. It's like no, it's our property. So sorry.
Yeah, because they're probably afraid it's gonna get lost in an airport. You know what I mean?
Well, the recent one that I won at Disco at the Discovery Wrestling in Edinburgh, their women's championship, they're getting it all cleaned up. So I'll get it back whenever at the next show, hopefully March time. They didn't want to announce any shows or book any shows just in case we do go into another lockdown or anything like that because of this new variant. And so hopefully March time I'll be able to do my first title defense with the lovely Disco Wrestling Women's Championship. Yeah. And if anybody wants me to defend it in the States so I can make it a world championship.
Ooh.
No.
There you go.
Promoters, if you're listening to this.
I mean, this one's been defended in Japan, so we need it in another continent so it can be a world championship. So ooh. USA, I'm looking at you.
You know where you should come? New York.
Victory Pro. Victory Pro.
I haven't been to New York since I was 11. The family, we took a big trip out to the States then in 2001. And we were in Phoenix. We stayed with some of my dad's friends in Phoenix. We drove to the Grand Canyon, and then we went to San Diego, a place called Alicia Viejo in San Diego, and then we went to Vegas, and then back to Phoenix, and then to New York. So we did a wee circuit, and then over to New York, and we did that in like 3 weeks. But because I was young, I didn't get like the proper proper feel of it all, especially Vegas, because again, I was only 11, so I couldn't gamble. So I kind of want to go back to Vegas. So commissions in Vegas. And then but New York, I would love to go back because I was like, a lot of my dad's friends, they were able to get us up into the Twin Towers and do a lot of big things. And then 4 weeks later, they fell, and I'm like, holy crap! So I kind of want to get back just to even visit, just like to visit Ground Zero and stuff like that, and be like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a funny thing as well. I think I actually might have the photo. Because I was home recently to see the family. I've got a thing about going through photo albums. Like, I love going through old photos. And there's a picture of me and Leah when we were on Liberty Island, and we did the whole we're holding up the Twin Towers. I was like, that's a bit freaky.
Yeah.
2 seconds. Let me see. I don't know if I have it or not, but I'll check.
Right.
Let me see. This will be a big letdown now.
Sorry, fans on Spotify, you won't be able to see this stuff. You only have to watch us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Sorry about that, all right? And Twitch.
Yeah, so like I'm big into family. That's why, like, the name Owens that I used before, that was like my great grandmother. So that's like my link to that. That's what. I do have it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
That's
I
awesome.
see it. Oh wow.
So
That's a very pretty picture.
yeah. So literally that was 4 weeks. 4 weeks before they fell. And I was like, okay.
I was my first year in college when the World Trade Center fell.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody thinking it's a movie, and it's not. But yeah. Creepy, eh? So yeah, anyway, back onto nice things. If anybody wants me to defend the international championship or it's after all, it's called the international championship.
It should be called the World Championship now.
It should be the World International Championship.
The World International
You
Championship.
should definitely, when you come to the States, definitely remember this name, Victory Pro Wrestling. It's in Long Island, New York.
I need to do it right. I need to get a working visa because I'm not getting banned from the States.
Don't get banned.
No.
Working visa, because hauling these things about, that's not an easy thing to do. Yeah. So if anybody needs me for a week or two. Yeah.
All
So
right.
anyway, some self-promotion. Sorry. Just overtaking the podcast.
I love self-promoting here.
Yeah.
I got nothing else, Geek. What you got?
We want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast, by the way. Thank you.
Great.
We know it's late over in Ireland, so
You say Ireland. This is where you're going to get annoyed at me. I'm Irish, but I live in Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh,
This is why a lot of people think I'm Scottish, because they see that I'm in Scotland working for ICW. But I moved over from Northern Ireland back in 2014, and I've been here since. And a lot of people think I'm Scottish because the Irish and Scottish accents, like, I don't know how people can mix them up because I think they're completely different. But whenever I go home to my family, they're like, "Why you sound so Scottish?" But everybody here's like, "You're still so Irish to us." I'm like, "Who am I? What's going on?"
It's like the meme, mind is blown.
So it's that way where I've got a weird twang. So there's certain words that I say now that I sound really Scottish.
Yeah.
And like I'll revert back to, like, in a lot of my promos, whenever I get angry, I revert back to like my Northern Irish like roots. You hear it coming out. And then there's other times here when I'm just talking to you and I'll come out with stuff from
Our mom's side.
That's our mod. That's the one that does our modding. You'll probably meet her at the end of the show if you stay in afterwards. She'll come by and say hi.
But yeah, no, it's been great, guys. Thank you very much for having me on.
Tell all the girls that I messaged. Tell them
The guys too. The guys too.
But they like somebody else to go first.
Or just tell them we're good. We're good people. We're not like some scary, mean, questioned, creepy podcast.
No. But has it been like the typical podcast of, so you started, where are you going, what's this, what's that?
That's another good question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
WWE, AEW, anywhere that will have me.
Yeah.
I will entertain anywhere, please. I just want to wrestle.
Yeah.
But I want
Yeah.
to be with my friends on big stages doing all the silly stuff.
So if you ever come to America, and if it's around the summertime, message the dudes at Ringside page. I will request off for work. Come to Long Island, and
Yeah.
we'll have pizza. We'll have tacos, and have a
Yeah.
big fun party. We'll have some beers. We'll chill. We'll hang out.
Oh, there you go. She's also Scottish on their mum's side. Grandpa. Oh, there you go.
She
Okay.
gets so mad at me because I'm like, Ma, look, she has red hair. It's kind of brown, but she almost has red hair.
I've got green in it at the minute, but because of the way my lights are at the minute, so you can't really see
It's like Christmas colors. It's like red and green.
it. I've always had some sort of color in my hair. I've been every color under the rainbow. So
Yeah, because the picture you sent me, you had the green hair. Your hair was like green on the bottom.
there's just stuff. This happens. I put stuff in it. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
All right. So everyone that's watching this podcast, please follow us, like, subscribe, do whatever you have to do. You can follow Casey. Please like her videos, everything. So
Have a chat.
Go on the Patreon. Pay some money, hang out with her, and we will see you guys
later.
8 p.m. See you later, guys.